Hey, what's going on, everybody? So last night I went to see The Rise of Skywalker for a fourth time, and I think I may have changed my mind about the movie. This has been happening pretty slowly, but I think last night really solidified my views on the movie. So usually I have some notes written down or some bullet points or something that I use for reference, but in this video I have no notes, no bullet points, nothing. I'm just going to be talking to you about what I think about The Rise of Skywalker after seeing it a fourth time. So let me know if you guys like this type of video better, or if you like it better when I have notes or bullet points written down for me to read off of or use as reference. And one more thing before we finally get into what I think about The Rise of Skywalker after a fourth viewing. If you want daily Star Wars content, I post Star Wars videos on this channel every single day, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into the video. So last night, as I said, I got to go see The Rise of Skywalker again for a fourth time, and I went with a few people who had never seen the movie before. I don't know if you've ever experienced this before, but when you watch a movie with someone who has never seen the movie before, in a way, it feels like you're watching the movie for the first time again as well. And when I was watching the movie last night, I was kind of watching it through their eyes and trying to think of what they would think of the movie as I was watching it. And they're real casual movie fans and casual Star Wars fans as well. So I was kind of trying to view the movie through a casual movie fan standpoint, and I enjoyed the movie a lot more than I did the first few times seeing it. If you don't know, I am a film student and I study film in school, and I just study film all the time because I love movies. But I haven't done that for a long time. I've actually just started in the past 6 months, and The Rise of Skywalker was the first Star Wars movie that I saw ever since I started studying film. So I don't know if it's just because I know the ins and outs of film now, to where I can spot the major mistakes in movies easier, but for some reason The Rise of Skywalker just had so many mistakes on my first viewing that I couldn't look past them and enjoy the movie. But for the third time that I saw the movie, I saw it with a couple people that have never seen it before, but they're not necessarily big Star Wars fans, so they didn't really care what was going on. So looking at it through their eyes when they don't really care what's going on would probably make me like the movie even less. So what I ended up doing was just dissecting the movie even more, which made me like it less as well. But then I let it breathe for a few weeks, and I went to see it around 3 or 4 weeks after the third viewing for a fourth time, and I tried to look at it through my friend's eyes instead of my eyes and my movie critic eyes, and I was just trying to have fun with it, and I really do think it's a very fun movie to watch. On the fourth time, the mistakes that were really glaring to me and obvious were a lot less jarring, like when Ben Solo dies in the end after he just kissed Rey and smiled and he just falls down and dies. The first time I saw the movie, that scene alone ruined the movie for me because I feel like they ruined the Ben Solo / Kylo Ren character with that one terrible death scene. So while the movie plot-wise and intellectually would never stand up to The Last Jedi, I do think it's a very fun movie to watch if you just want to see a bunch of lightsaber battles and not really feel too much stakes behind the battles. You just want to see a lot of lightsabers, you want to see a lot of the Force being used and all that kind of stuff. But I think the main thing that the movie does well is the nostalgia factor. The one part that gets me in the movie every time is when Luke lifts the X-Wing out the water and they play Yoda's theme. I know that's probably not what gets a lot of people emotional in the movie, but that's what gets me emotional because I'm a nerd. And obviously Star Wars is all about poetry. It's all about callbacks to other movies, and this movie did that extremely well. So overall, did I love the movie? Not really. Not as a Star Wars movie. I didn't love it as much as The Last Jedi or even The Force Awakens, but as a movie, it is Star Wars, so it's going to stand out from the rest of the movies for me just because it has lightsabers in it, because it has the Force in it. I'm going to like the movie. I'm going to rewatch the movie a whole bunch of times because it's Star Wars. At the end of the day, Revenge of the Sith is my favorite movie, and I'm well aware that it's not a good movie, but I love it because I saw it when I was a little kid and I loved it. And that'll probably be my favorite Star Wars movie until the day that I die because of that nostalgia. So my final thoughts on The Rise of Skywalker: I don't think it's a good movie. I don't think the plot is very strong at all. I don't think that there are any stakes in the battles. I think that we know who's going to win every time, and I think that a lot of scenes are very poorly executed, and I don't think that there is much character development, but I think that they did imply a lot of character development between the last movie and this movie. But at the same time, if that's the kind of movie that you're looking for, if you want to go see lightsaber battles and the Force being used and just a lot of action with no stakes, then this is the movie for you. And I probably will end up looking back on this movie fondly in the future years, but right now I just don't like it too much, though I don't hate it as much as I did, and I actually have a newfound appreciation for the movie in its own way. I'm not going to keep rambling on for too much longer because I could go on and on about Star Wars all day, but this isn't a podcast. But if you do want to see a podcast, I actually have a podcast on my channel. Go check that out. I want to know your guys' thoughts on The Rise of Skywalker and also The Last Jedi in the comments. And as I always say, all film is subjective. My opinion means no more than yours, just like your opinion means no more than anyone else's. They're all opinions and they're all created equally. Thank you so much for watching the video. There are new Star Wars videos on this channel every single day, so if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. That's going to do it for this video. Hope you have a good day, and hope to see you on the next one.